Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. And this video is to bring you a closer look at the Bommer 1515-601 louver door double acting spring hinge, light duty, mortise type, bright black japanned finish. So the 1515 is representative of the fact that this is a double acting spring hinge for light duty doors. And below this video is in the extended description, kind of an outline in terms of what it's intended for. First of all, it's non-handed. It's for doors from 1 1/8 to 1 1/2 thick. And that's a reference to how wide of a cavity you have in which to fit a door. Minimum door height 42 inch. Maximum door width 18 inch. Maximum door weight 18 pounds. It's made of steel. Below that is a link to the template and the instructions. Let's look at the template first. The template is really a mechanical drawing of the hinge showing all of the dimensions. So I'm not going to beleaguer them all here, except to say that the height of the frame flange is 2 inch. Okay, and the height of the door flange is about 2 1/4. As you can see there, just under, well, it's supposed to be just over 2 1/4. Overall height of the hinge is 2 15/16. Less important. The most important aspect really is that it's for 1 1/2 to 1 1/8 to 1 1/2 doors. If you've got a door in the range, door thickness in that range, then this would be a good hinge for you, provided you were within the weight and size and width and height requirements, and that you wanted a non-hold open version. So before we move on to the instructions, let's review the template some more. Really the important part, everybody gets this hinge. Everybody can understand the fact that, this is the leaf that attaches to the frame. The hinge would sit like this, okay? This is the leaf that would attach to the door, and the door would simply sit in this pocket here, okay? So the door would swing out this way, or it could close here and swing out this way, okay? But the question really, the business end of understanding this hinge is the net door size in relationship to the frame inside opening. What's the dimension that you have to make the door based on your frame clear width? Or what do you make the frame clear width based on your door thickness? On the on the template, there's a guide in terms of what you have to make the door width to. So you can see that you have an option: mortise indoor, no mortise indoor, and that is a reference to whether or not you mortise this leaf to the door. Okay, and that dimension, the mortise dimension, pardon me, you'll pick up from reviewing the instructions, and there is a link. That link is there. It's showing it to you in step 2 right here, 3/16 deep and 2 1/4 tall. Okay, so if you're going to mortise this leaf, then your pre-fit width of the door is going to be different than if you surface mount it. Back to the template, mortising it means you've got to allow yourself 0.062, a 1/16 of an inch. Okay, clearance on the hinge side of the door, and then your B dimension on the lock side. Before we talk about the lock side, you're going to allow yourself a 1/4 inch if there is no mortise in the door, and then your B dimension. Now let's look at the B dimension. You can have a square edge door, or you can have a round edge door. Imagine your door being square edged, like my fist, just square edged. And here's the frame. If you have a square edged door, you've got to leave more room for the door to double act through that opening than you would if the door was radiused or rounded over. Think of the top row of tile in your bathroom that's bull-nosed. Well, if you bull-nose both edges of the door, you can get away with a tighter margin between the lock jamb and the door. And those two dimensions are given there. 1/8 inch if you're going to radius both sides of the door, or 1/4 inch if you're not. If you're going to radius it, that's really a great way to go. A couple of things to keep in mind. You're going to need a big round over bit and a router, and the ability to, have those tools. Take your door and clamp it down to your workbench, and you'll insert your large round over bit into the base of your router, and then run that down the edge of the door, and then turn your door over and then run it down the other side. Keep in mind that the radius of the round over cannot be greater than the door, otherwise you won't really be achieving enough thickness or enough radius, a tight enough radius to get the door to operate correctly. And then also keep in mind, if you're working with a veneered door or plywood, this material is made of plies, your veneer, your cross-banding, your backer and your cross-banding. And as you cut the edge of the door, you're going to accentuate those layers in your door, so you might see those. That's only an issue 1 out of 100,000 times, but if you're doing a cherry door and it's a veneered door, you're going to see the cross-banding underneath that. So keep that in mind if you're going to round over the door. Generally, these hinges are not used for that application. They're generally used for lower, cost, typical, louver sort of situations, cafe doors. This hinge is also available as a hold open, and you'd be able to hold it open at basically 90 degrees. The instructions, looking at it here, there's really nothing else vital in regards to the door size. So now we get to the point of talking about setting the tension. The tension collars are these 2 rings that have the holes in them. You're going to get a tension rod. It always is included. You're going to insert the tension rod into one of those holes, and you're going to rotate it clockwise. These are always up. This is always going to be rotated clockwise. Okay, you got your tension rod in there. You're also going to get what are called tension pins. That's the silver pin that you see there. There's 2 of them because in this order there's 2. Because in this you need 2 per hinge. Rotate that clockwise, and you can see there are new holes that are revealed, and it's into one of those new holes here that you will insert that tension pin. The tension will hold, and you can release your tension rod. You're going to do the same over here on the other side. Same situation, insert a tension pin. Okay? Very simple, very easy. Screws are going to be included in a complementary finish. In this case, it'd be black. They look like they're number 6 by 3/4 flathead, maybe 8s. Those might be number 8s or 7s. They are 7s, actually. And that pretty much wraps up this hinge. Good quality hinge, great quality company. Even better, you can see right above their logo it says Made in USA. That's a fact that Bommer is quite proud of, as am I, to represent them. Available in several different finishes. Hold open, non-hold open. 1514 is for a thinner door. 1515 is for the 1 1/8 to 1 1/2. Bommer full line manufacturer of all things hinge related. Not only double acting hinges, which I think is what they're best known for, but floor pivots and cafe door hardware and wide throw hinges, and then your garden variety material as well. Good quality company, good quality product. If you have any questions on the Bommer 1515-601 double acting louver door, hinge, or any other Bommer product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.